Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to share with you my top 10 products of 2023 so far. I am super excited to share these with you because these went from products that I tried and tested out to give you my first impressions on to products that I use almost daily in my makeup routine. These have become staples to me and staples within my makeup collection. There's a couple of products in here that weren't released in 2023, but I did try them in 2023, and so they are my top 2023 products at the moment. If you become interested in any of the products I'm about to mention and you want to check them out, please check them out using the links I'm leaving you down below in the description box of this video, or you can also check them out on the little icon right here on the screen. Whenever you shop from either one of those places, you are helping out my channel. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. If anyone's weirded out that it's been like 5 days since I uploaded a video, I was supposed to upload this video a few days ago, but me wanting recessed lighting in my living room turned into home improvement week, and so we've been under construction for the past 4 to 5 days. I'm very happy with the results. I now have recessed lighting, and I also have a freshly painted walkable living room. It went from being a very dark space in the house that you could like barely walk through because the couch I had from my previous house was like way too massive for the size of my new living room. Anyways, it went from being an unwalkable black hole into a space that I want to actually be at. It is so fresh, so clean. I am in love with the way that everything turned out. It looks so much more spacious. And it's not even finished yet. We still have some last details to work on, but I'm very happy with all of the progress we made in the past 4 to 5 days. And by we, I mean mostly my husband worked on things, but I'm a good helper, you know? Anyways, let's get started with the top 10 products of 2023. And the first product I want to mention is this one right here from Freck Beauty. This is Freck Beauty's Rich Primer. This primer is unlike anything I've ever tried before, and it's now my go-to primer. It leaves my skin glowy. It makes it a bit tacky, so like foundation goes on really nicely on top of it. The makeup wears for a very long time, and it feels extremely hydrating on the skin. The one thing it doesn't do much for, I would say, is my pores, but that's okay because I have a powder that I'll mention later that does everything I need for my pores. Even though this has a very thin texture, it's kind of like a slimy primer, but take a look right here at how it leaves the skin. As far as the glow is concerned, it just looks supple and it looks hydrated, and it makes my makeup lay on top of it beautifully. One of my most favorite things about this one is that since I have dry skin, sometimes there's some matte finish foundations that look a bit too dry on me, and this one kind of solves that problem for me. If you put the Rich Primer from Freck Beauty under any of the foundations that might be looking a bit too matte on you at the moment, it is going to solve all of your problems. That foundation is no longer going to look as matte or dry looking. This is truly a game changer and one of my favorite products I tried in 2023 for sure. Also not talked about enough in my opinion. I feel like this one kind of flies under the radar, but I highly recommend it. I'm going to go in the order in which I do my makeup, and I have a couple of foundation type products to talk about today. One of them is this one right here. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Healthy Glow SPF 30 Skin Tint. I have mine in the shade Porcelain. This is a very lightweight product. It has a nice amount of SPF in it. The shade Porcelain happens to be the perfect shade for my skin tone, and for a skin tint, especially a skin tint that is as lightweight as this one is, it lasts for a very long time on the face. I compared it side by side to some of my other favorite skin tints, like the Rare Beauty one that I tried last year, which at the time I compared them, that one was my favorite. And this one looked a little bit better in my opinion. It was just a bit less glowy than the Rare Beauty one, but at the end of the day, after several hours had gone by, this one was still the one that had the most coverage, and the makeup that I had placed on top of this one, like the bronzer and the blush and all of that, was still a bit more visible than on top of the Rare Beauty skin tint. The difference was not major, but I definitely could see those differences when comparing them side by side, and so this has become my new favorite skin tint. And so of course I had to mention it in today's video. If you're looking for something for the summertime that has a decent amount of coverage, it gives me a really nice medium coverage. It has a natural finish, so it's not too glowy, you're not going to look sweaty, but at the same time it doesn't dry out your skin at all. Your skin looks nice and hydrated all throughout the day without looking oily. This is something that I highly recommend. Like I said, for a skin tint, very long lasting, very lightweight. I love the finish of it, I love the formula, and I find that it is a perfect summer skin tint. Honestly, a wonderful product. I think the only thing about this one that doesn't make me super joyful is the packaging. The packaging is kind of meh, right? But everything else is outstanding about this one, and so I highly recommend it. The other foundation I wanted to mention that I also tried in 2023 is not something that came out this year, but something that I finally got my hands on this year, and that is the Very Valentino foundation. This one has SPF 26. It has a beautiful luxurious packaging, and I love the formula of this foundation so much that I had to like redo my top favorite foundations video. I basically made this foundation compete with my Pat McGrath foundation, with my Guerlain foundation, and with the Chanel No. 1 foundation to see which one was my top favorite. At the end of that video, spoiler alert, I did do wear test, and you can see side-by-side comparisons if you want to check it out, but at the end of that video, this one tied with my Pat McGrath foundation, and so of course that means this is an absolute favorite of mine now because it has a beautiful medium coverage, it has a beautiful natural to glowy finish, it feels luxurious and lightweight on the skin. Mine is in the shade LN4, which I find to be my perfect shade. Like I said, I'm wearing it today. Very lightweight. It honestly makes my skin look flawless. It lasts for a very long time on me. It has never ever made me look dry or dull. None of that. This foundation is perfection. Like I said, it is currently in my top 2 out of my entire foundation collection, tied with my Pat McGrath foundation, which has been my favorite for a long time. And if you check out the video where I compare them side by side, you can kind of decide yourself if you like this one or the Pat McGrath one better on me, because like I said, I did wear tests with all of the foundations and showed you side by side what they look like. I said I couldn't honestly pick a favorite because they are both amazing, but some of you in the comments of that video said that this one looked even better than Pat McGrath, so I'll leave it there. Now, I think that the Very Valentino foundation is phenomenal, and also I think it's the best product from the Very Valentino line in general. This is a phenomenal foundation, highly recommended. The next product that launched this year that has become an absolute staple for me, I love to reach for this one on a daily basis, is also from the Valentino Beauty line, and it is the Very Valentino concealer. If you watched my video where I first reviewed this one, I actually did not give it a great review. Whenever I review concealers, I try them without a color corrector to see how much coverage it gives on its own, and this one on its own, to be honest with you, it gives like a light medium coverage. I loved the texture of it, I loved how thin it was, but without a color corrector underneath, it wasn't my favorite product. However, I use a color corrector on a daily basis, which is the one from Charlotte Tilbury. I mention it in every single video, and on top of my Charlotte Tilbury color corrector, this concealer is Pure Magic. This is the one that I am wearing underneath my eyes today, and my favorite things about this one is the brightness that it brings to my under eye area. I love that it has a kind of glowy finish to it, but the best property that this concealer has is definitely how thin the texture of it is. I love putting this one underneath my eyes because it feels like nothing under my eyes, and it makes my under eye lines not look deeper. It makes me look more youthful versus a little older. I feel like some concealers, on me at least, especially when they have a thicker consistency, they can enhance the lines underneath my eyes and make me look older than I am, and this one has the opposite effect. So what is not to love about that? As you can see, it looks super flawless. I am wearing it on top of my color corrector, of course, and my lines underneath the eyes do not crease at all when I'm wearing this one because of that very thin texture that it has. So I honestly cannot believe that a product I gave a iffy review when I first tried it is currently in my top 10 of 2023. But here it is. I love it. I cannot put it down. I've tried several concealers since. I have other concealers that I have loved for a long time in my collection, and this one just is the one that I'm reaching for on a daily basis at the moment. So definitely a new favorite of mine. My only critique would be that I love how luxurious the packaging of the Very Valentino foundation is. It is glass, right? And this one has a plastic bottle instead. I think it would have taken it to the next step if we would have gotten a nicer components, but that's just me being a packaging whore, you know. The next product I have to mention in this video is also one that did not come out this year, but it became a favorite of mine this year, and that is the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. I have mine in the shade 3, which is the rose shade. I have been in a romance with this powder ever since I tried it. This is what the inside looks like right here, and this is the powder that I am wearing underneath my eyes and all over the center of my face today. The main thing I love about this powder is that I don't think I have ever tried a more finely milled powder ever, especially one that has a natural finish to it. Because for example, the under eye powder from Pat McGrath is also very finely milled, but that one is kind of a bit more reflective. It has a bit more glow to it. This one is more natural looking underneath my eyes, which I absolutely love. You can look at it on top of my color corrector and concealer, and also on top of my foundation all throughout the center of my face. And this powder makes my pores vanish. It makes them disappear. My pores look non-existent when I put this powder on top, and as I showed you earlier, underneath the eye it makes everything set to perfection. My under eyes do not crease, and because this is such a thin powder, if you have texture under eyes or dry skin, this is guaranteed to work for you. I was putting it on with a brush when I first tried it, which has worked for me for a long time, and I still do like and recommend. However, I have recently become a puff person and so I've been loving the application of this powder with a puff as well. The trick to using a puff if you have dry skin or aging skin is to dust off majority of the excess on the back of your hand before you apply the powder on your face, because it'll make your skin look absolutely flawless without the possibility of the powder being too much, looking too dry, or caking onto your skin. I promise you, just puff off the powder on the back of your hand before applying it, and you'll also become a puff person. Plus it gives you an even better result than a brush gives you, in my opinion. I already loved this powder when I was applying it with a brush, and now I love it even more since I discovered the little puff technique for dry people. I think the next thing on my list is mascara. This mascara has become a staple for me. I cannot stop using it. It is newer in my collection. I've had it for less than a month, but I've never ever had a better mascara ever. And so that tells me that it is incredible. Plus I have seen nothing but raving reviews. I hadn't heard much about it before I purchased it and tried it, but I did a little bit of digging after I tried it to see who else was talking about this one, and every single person who tried it is as amazed as I am. I'm talking about the Give mascara. It's called Can't Stop Staring mascara from the Gwen Stefani line. This mascara does magic for your eyes. Just take a look at how amazing my lashes look. I believe this might be a tubing mascara because it doesn't smudge off. It kind of crumbles off when you take it off, which by the way I love. I think it makes the process of taking your mascara off so much faster and so much more gentle. The other thing is that the texture of it makes it so that it builds on and on and on. Even people who have very thin short lashes have been loving this one. And my favorite thing, I think, has to be the mascara wand. The mascara wand is designed in a way that it applies a lot of volume to your lashes, but at the same time it also lengthens and separates the lashes a lot. It has like a little comb on the sides that really make your lashes separate as you comb through them, and then it has the little ball tip applicator in the front, which makes it very easy to reach the inner corner lashes, which can sometimes be a little bit hard to reach for. The bonus for this one is that it's not even a very expensive mascara. This retails for $20, which is affordable for high-end mascara prices. I feel like majority of mascaras are close to 30 now, 25 to $30, and this one is 20, and it is the best mascara I've ever tried. I like it even more than my Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara, which has been my favorite for a long time, and I also love it even more than my YSL Lash Clash mascara. Honestly, I love it more than any mascara I've tried ever. Highly recommended is an understatement. You guys need to try this mascara. Just thank me later, okay? It's amazing. So we're talking about blush next, and this one I tried December of 2022, so technically last year. However, I tried it after I had already done my favorites of the year videos. So to me, this is a 2023 product, and that is the Gucci blushes. These have definitely become a favorite of mine. I can't stop using them. I love the formula. I love the shades. I started with 2 shades and I now have 3. And I've been very picky when selecting the shades I want to add to my collection. So I have 01 Silky Rose for days when I want to do something that's a bit more cool toned. I have 03 Radiant Pink, and this one is a bit more neutral in my opinion. And then the one that I'm wearing, which I think might be my favorite, is 04 Bright Coral, which just gives me a bit more warmth to my face. I feel like there's a lot of blushes to choose from on the market, especially this year. A lot more blushes have come out, and so let me tell you exactly what I love about these blushes. Obviously, I chose colors that were nice and soft because these are the colors that I tend to prefer when it comes to blush application. You can take a look right there at what the differences are in tone between my 3 blushes. This one here is the 03 Bright Coral, which is what I'm using today. So I love how soft the colors of the blush is. I love how silky and smooth these blushes apply. They build up on the face beautifully. You're not going to do too much too fast, but at the same time, I just love the texture of the powder. It's not necessarily glowy at all. However, it doesn't feel like a very matte blush on the face. It feels natural. It gives you a very natural flush. I'm a very big fan of this formula. I think that if you love very pigmented blushes, maybe this is not the blush for you, because these are definitely blushes that you more so have to build up, but that is just the type of blush that I like most. Besides that, I also really love how special the packaging of these is, and the overall performance of these is great. They're also very long-lasting blushes. I've never had to reapply. They don't fade. They stay put until I take my makeup off, and that is all I can ask of from a blush. In comparison, for example, to Pat McGrath blushes, which I also really love, the Pat McGrath ones feel a bit more powdery, versus these build onto your face, but you don't really feel like you're putting product on. It's weird. It's like a powder that is not powdery. That's the best way I can explain it, and I don't think I'm doing a very good job at it. Anyways, I just love the formulation of these Gucci blushes. I reach for them all the time, and I highly recommend them. I know that they're kind of pricey, but I think that they're worth it. By the way, if you're weirded out by the fact that there is no palette in this video, I already did my top palettes of 2023 video. That was the one I uploaded right before this one, in which I mentioned my top favorite palettes of the year, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. But in this video, I wanted to focus on all of my other favorites besides eyeshadow palettes. We have 3 products left, and they're all lip products. I'm going to start with lip liner, and if you have not heard me talk about the Anastasia lip liners, you have not been watching my channel this year at all, because I tried this in January and I have not been able to put them down. I have my 3 favorite shades right here to share with you. As you can see by the length of this one, that one is my favorite right there. So these lip liners I love because you can get a lot of precision with them. You have to sharpen them. These are not twist tops, but when it comes to lip liners, I actually prefer the ones that you have to sharpen because you can get a much more sharp line around your lips once you're lining. Anyways, my favorite shade, let me do it on this side, is definitely Muted Mauve, which that is what it looks like right there. It's kind of a My Lips But Better type of shade. It just makes the edge a bit darker, and I really love pairing just about any other lip product with this lip liner underneath. I have used it in almost every single video I've uploaded lately because I cannot stop using it. Besides having a very defined outer edge with these, you also get a really good amount of pigmentation with them. You can fade your lip liner in a little bit. I just find the formula to be fantastic. Anyways, here's another one of my favorite colors. This is the one I'm wearing today, which is the shade Mocha. As you can see, it's a little bit warmer, but not too warm. And then if I want to go for something a bit more dark rose type of vibe, I go for the shade Rosewood, which is that one right there. I usually wear the shade Rosewood when I do a lighter color eye, and I really love the way it looks. So if you haven't checked out the Anastasia lip liners yet, I highly recommend that you do. They truly have become a favorite of mine, and I have not been able to put them down ever since I tried them back in January. Next on the list, I have some glosses, and these are also from Anastasia. I have my favorite shades right here to share with you, which, as you can see, they all kind of have similar vibes. They're kind of neutral rose type colors. Some of them have a little bit of shimmer in them. Some are a little lighter, some are a little darker. All of them are fantastic. The reason I love this Anastasia lip gloss formula is because it makes my lips look very juicy, and they feel hydrated, and they're not overly sticky. They don't feel like a lip oil. They definitely feel like a gloss, but not a sticky gloss. This shade right here, by the way, is Tan Rose. This one's a little bit warmer than some of the other ones I'm going to show you. I also think that these have the best amount of pigmentation to them. They give your lip a specific colored look with a lot of glow, but that is distinct enough. This one is Dusty Rose, which is a bit more neutral than the first one. For a gloss, I also find these to be pretty long lasting. They don't disappear from your lip right away. They last quite a few hours in my opinion. This third one is Sun Baked. This one's a bit more rose. I'm also a very big fan of the Anastasia rebrand. I think the packaging of these is amazing. This one here has a bit of shimmer in there, and it looks fantastic. This one is Toffee Rose. I think this is the one I'm wearing today. If you're more of a girly pink gloss type of person, soft pink right here is your shade. And then there's everyone's favorite, a clear lip gloss. I love this one, and this one is called Glass. This one is fully clear, no sparkle, no nothing. If you would have told me 5 to 6 years ago when I first started my YouTube channel that I was going to become a gloss person, I would probably not have believed you because I was so opposed to them, but it's been a very gradual process. And here we are. These glosses are fantastic. I love reaching for them all the time, and they're almost my favorite formula of glosses. The only formula of glosses in my collection that I like even more than these is the Pat McGrath gloss formula, but these are a close second. My 10th and last favorite of 2023 is this right here from YSL. This is the YSL lip glaze in the shade 02. And this is basically a clear lip balm, which doesn't sound that exciting, but trust me when I tell you, this is the best clear lip balm ever. First of all, it's not fully clear. 02 is called Rosy Pink or something, and it does have like a very light hint of color in there, but you can't really see it that much. This product is extremely hydrating on the lips. It feels fantastic, like you're wearing a very nice luxurious balm product. But what makes it truly outstanding is how much this one glows, because this glows like a gloss would. In fact, I think if I were to compare it with the clear gloss from Anastasia, it might even be glowier than the Anastasia gloss. We're gonna test this right now. Honestly, just as glowy as the Anastasia clear gloss. However, the Anastasia clear gloss still feels a little glossy, a little sticky, versus this just feels like a very luxurious hydrating balm on the lips, which is much more comfortable to wear. For a lip balm, it wears for a very long time. Your lips feel plump, they feel hydrated, they look juicy. This has put a spell on me. I cannot stop using it. In fact, I think I want to put it on just to show you how good it is. I'm going to use my Anastasia lip liner in Muted Mauve. Here's what the Muted Mauve lip liner looks like on its own. And then a little bit of this one. Just take a look right here. It's like the prettiest, juiciest, glossy thing ever, except it doesn't feel like a gloss at all. It feels like a very hydrating lip balm. Honestly, it is witchcraft. I love it. And so this right here is my 10th favorite of 2023. As I said at the beginning of the video, these aren't just products I tried and liked. These are products I tried this year that have become everyday products in my routine and that I reach for over a lot of my other choices, right? These are truly outstanding makeup products that I cannot seem to get enough of. And so I wanted to make sure to share them with you and do my halfway through the year check-in on what has been the best of the best that I have tried. I really hope that this video was helpful. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and if you're just as in love with them as I am. And if you have a favorite that you tried this year that I have not mentioned and that you feel very, very passionate about, please let me know down in the comment section, because maybe I need to try it. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you want to shop for any of these products, it would help me out if you do so using the links I'm leaving you in the description box. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.